I'm Jen Kumar, and I'm one of the teachers in the design course. And we're very excited for you to be coming along today. Ben, any opening remarks there that you'd like to make?
Yeah, no, I'd just like to welcome everyone. It's an exciting time for you because we do have lots of great assessments. We have great teachers so that you'll sort of be able to, I guess, progress your design skills and your Adobe skills. There's lots that we are getting to teach you. We're getting to teach you about photography, about illustration, about website design. All of those sorts of things are happening in your future. So we're extremely happy to have you here, and we really look forward to being able to work with you. So we sort of have a studio environment rather than a teaching environment. So we're going to be sort of working with you to upskill you so that really you can become designers at the end of our course. So as diploma in design, you can start to work in the design industry. So welcome, everyone.
So we'll go through our slides in a moment, and please feel free to jump in at any time and ask us questions as we go along. We'll also be having two of our past students joining us probably about 1:30. So have a think if you've got any questions for them as well, to ask them. They're just about to progress over to second year uni, and they're also very excited of new beginnings as well. Okie doke, let me jump over to my slides. So I'm hoping most of you are semi-familiar with Zoom and are sort of feeling comfortable to sort of navigate through the environment. Feel free also if you want to put your hand up if you've got a question. You can either, if you turn your camera on, you can actually do it physically, or if you want to use your little emoji symbol to do that, Ben will keep a lookout for that as well. We've only got Ben also for the first half of this course. He's jumping over to another orientation shortly as well. So if we see him disappear, we'll know where he goes. Okie doke. So yes, so welcome to Western Sydney University, the college arm. And the college is primarily an academic pathway to the rest of the university. And ideally, I suppose you spend the time at the college to get your diploma, or you do an extended diploma. And the outcome is then you have that diploma, but then you can also then go straight into second year university. So it's an amazing sort of winning formula. I'm not a very religious person, but I really believe and see the good things that come out of this course, and I suppose the miracles that happen as well along the way. So it's really lovely to watch students develop and change over time to basically be thinking and acting like designers by the end of their diploma. Okay. So just to let you know that this is being recorded. I believe it's being recorded, Brian. And so just to let you know for that aspect, if there's anything that you want to ask us later on when it's not being recorded. And this will also be repeated and put up onto the site for orientation as well. So if there's anything you missed or want to come back to, it's all there for you as needed. Okay, so let's keep going. So there you can see at the bottom Ben and I's names. Please feel free to take even a screenshot of that, or use your phone to take a photo. You can also see our email addresses there. So if you want to send us any love letters, to ask us any questions, that's probably the best way to get in contact with us. So first of all, let's have a listen to our acknowledgement of country. Hang on, if we get sound, oh, we're good to go.
My name is Matilda Harris.
And I'm Luke Hodge, and we are both proud Aboriginal staff and students here at Western Sydney University. Together, we would like to acknowledge the sovereign custodians on the lands of which our campus stands.
We acknowledge the elders, past, present, and emerging of the Darug, Eora, Dharawal, and Wiradjuri Nation, and we would like to thank them all for allowing us to continue our business and education on their lands. Western Sydney University is committed to Indigenous excellence and knowledge, as we aim to promote a strong network of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander staff, students, alumni, researchers, and elders. We would also further like to extend our respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander prospective students and guests with us today.
Okay. So we want to get to know you as fast as possible, and we're really excited that in less than a week we get to meet you initially via Zoom, face to face, and get to know you more. We thought we would play a little game of logo identification. So you can have a look at some of those and start to see logos, which is very much a design bread and butter thing that we will be designing in the future, to see which ones that you recognize. Okay, so let me just stop my share there. And I'll open up on another page. I did have it, 1 second. There it is. Okay, so I'll get you guys to pretty much, let me just see all your names at once. That's just about all of them. And have a little look at some of those logos and just sort of run through your mind which ones are which. Some of them you're going to say, Jen, they're way too easy, I know that. But then there's a few more extra ones in there that you might have to really put your thinking cap on to remember what they are. And I'm hoping, Ben, you remember also some of the answers to these as well, ones that I might get stuck on. Okay, obviously I will give this one away because it actually says it, but yeah, the first one we know as Pizza Hut. And you'll probably have noticed over the years too that it does keep evolving and changing, although that very interesting signature roof part tends to stay with us. Next one, piece of fruit. Come on, guys, really easy. Which one is this?
Apple.
Apple, yes, not a pear, but an apple. Okay, the next one down below. What do we think this one is? Any ideas?
Could be wrong, but I think that's Gucci.
Think it's Gucci?
Yeah.
Ben, is he correct?
Yes.
Yes, the double G.
Oh, dang. All right.
Well done, Dennis.
Next one,
Pepsi.
Pepsi, yes. And we know KFC on the next one. Have you guys actually noticed that they've started bringing back the word fried, that we now tend to go back to fried Kentucky Fried Chicken? Apparently it's back to being a feature compared to a turn off. Okay, bottom one.
Under Armour.
Yep. Oh, well done, Janine.
Cool.
Dennis.
Google.
Next one, Google, yes. Coca-Cola, we know. What's the
Ferrari.
fourth one? Ferrari, yep. And then for any car enthusiasts, we would know that one. Next one.
Converse,
Converse, excellent, Sam. What about that next one?
Reebok.
Yes.
The Reebok, yeah.
Yep.
I used to know the apparel designer for Reebok. There you go.
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi, yeah. You can tell Ben likes cars.
Mm.
This one,
Beats.
Beats. I remember the first time I saw the Beats, well, someone wearing the Beats earphones and seeing the logo on it. And it looks like little earphones at the same time. But yes. Macca's we know. And if you drive past your local McDonald's, you will start to notice too that they are taking away the word. We are now seeing just the symbol. It's only really on the McCafe part that we start to see the signage of that. But we pretty much all know and recognize it quite easily. Next one, the red
Tesla.
one. Yes, one. Yes. The next one.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Sorry.
LinkedIn.
Yep.
LinkedIn. Yes, cool. And notice how similar it is to Facebook, the white text in the blue boxes. Next one. Any ideas?
Firefox.
Firefox, yes.
Is that Kodak?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
And I think I actually saw a new redesign recently where they've started to put the word Kodak in the far right-hand side in the red, just to re-emphasize. Okay, this one.
BP.
Yep, BP Starflower. And you can see that they've tried to be very like sustainability sort of side of things as well, very environmental. Oh, we have this one twice. We know Facebook. This one,
Netflix.
after COVID, we know very well. Netflix.
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I believe designed by the studio in New York of Pentagram. Very simple logo, would have cost a lot. Next one,
Adidas.
Yes.
Adidas.
Yep.
And it tends to change a lot too, between the terrafoil of the 3 parts, as well as the 3 lines, the 3 stripes. This one, you guys might be all too young to know.
Airplane jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. And the last one there.
Oh, that one's a bit tough.
It's a clothing company.
Mm,
Clothing company.
kind of sporty, do you think, Ben? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of sporty, kind of surfy.
You pay a lot for a t-shirt.
No, I've got nothing.
Nothing.
Do you give up?
Yeah, no idea.
Put them out of their misery, Ben.
So it's Hurley.
So, yeah. So well done, guys. And I'm sure you're already doing it where you're noticing a lot of design around in the world. And it will become more and more apparent, and your brains will start to change even more, where you get to analyze and open up your design eye to see things that are going on. Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. So the other thing we might do, actually, let me stop that. Let's go back and see. Because there's a good quantity of you guys, I might just ask you, well, hang on, let me just ask Ben, do you want to do polling or do you want me to ask individually?
We'll ask individually.
Yeah.
So put it up on the chat.
Okay. Are you able to copy and paste that, Ben, on your end?
Yes, I can. So
Grab that. So what Ben's just going to paste up there in the chat, guys, and I'm hoping, feel free to open that chat on the side there. Oh, I can see Janine's answer. Cool, excellent. Is just some questions that we want to ask you guys. Now we know that come next week in all your classes that you're going to have, there's going to be lots of times and lots of icebreakers and lots of things where we can get to know you more and more. And this tends to be one of the benefits of the college, is that you're in these lovely small classes. So we really get to know you and you really get to know us, to the point you get completely sick of us. But it's a way of us being able to tailor the way that we teach you and the way that you respond and grow as a designer in that aspect. So questions are coming there from Ben. So just have a little think. And then I'll go around the room and get you guys to have a go at answering some of these questions as well. But as I said, don't worry too much if there's anything you miss now. There'll be plenty of opportunity later on. Feel free to add to that also if there's anything you're nervous about or worried about in your time here at the college, or even excited about. I might, Dennis, you seem to be the chatty one in the group. Do you want to get us going?
I'm not quite sure what you guys mean by where are you coming to this course from? Did you mean to say what's your last institution, or? Yeah,
so it might be that you might be coming straight from high school. You might be a mature age student. You might be just coming off a gap year. You might have been in the workforce, or you might have been out of course. Right. So yeah, where before here?
Can I just type it in instead?
Yes, yep, typed in. So on the chat, answer those questions. So where have you come from previously? So it might have been another course, might have been high school, it might have been from work. What is your ideal dream job? So what do you want to do with this design course? Where do you want to work? And also, how experienced are you using the Adobe Suite? So you might have a particular interest in something like Photoshop. You might have used Photoshop a lot where you've come from, like from your school or something like that. But maybe you haven't used, say, InDesign or Illustrator. So let us know. Oh, terribly inexperienced. Awesome. That's great.
That's a good clean slate. I can do all of bad habits now to start.
Exactly right.
Good, good. So, okay, so Dennis's one there is, from high school. By the way, I give you my sympathies, everybody who has come from high school from last year, from what a fun, turbulent year you would have had. But it'll be something you get to tell your future grandchildren that you were the ones who did year 12 in the year of COVID. Excellent. Oh, lots of high school graduates there. Cool, good. Coming in from a gap year. Lavelle. Yeah, cool. Yasmin's been out in the world for a couple of years. Like watching commentary. Good. And automotive designer. Oh, okay, Dennis, you're going to have to tell me a bit about that. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like the shapes, etc., of the car?
I think it's more about like the concept design of a vehicle. You know, how most production vehicles would first like evolve from a concept design, and like engineers would try to like water it down into something that's just more applicable for like the everyday customer to use. Yeah, I just want to be a concept designer in the car industry, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful job. One of the guys who I went to uni with, when he finished a graphic design course, he then went on to do that in Europe, and he got to sort of be carving the clay of the shapes of the cars. Do they still do the clay now, Ben?
They still do. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's actually a fantastic one movie at the moment, well, TV clip from Abstract on Netflix at the moment, and they look at a car designer over, I think it was Dodge even, the brand. But they were looking at cars, and particularly cars that are going to be driverless, and what is the shape of that car going to be. So it was really interesting and worth checking out. But yeah, excellent. Cool. Thank you for that, Dennis. And yep, we worked out you're a clean slate with your programs. Gianna Liang? Am I pronouncing?
You can just call me Gio.
Gio?
Yeah, just Gio.
Got impact. Okay, so you get to do lots of Lightroom. So do you do a fair bit of photography too, Gio?
Yeah, do that as a side thing in high school, and I had a project about it, so
excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sure a lot of you also will be reflecting back if you were in high school of doing your major projects in your maybe art or design courses as well. So that's great. Okay, and a little bit of Photoshop, yeah. And Lavelle's come in from doing a gap year. Did you get to do anything exciting last year?
Sorry?
That's all right.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking me, sorry.
Sorry, Gia. Yeah.
Honestly, like I really haven't, especially because of like COVID and everything. I really didn't get to do the things that I really wanted to, just because of like motivation was really not there.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. And, any sort of great plans of getting out and about and doing things would have got crushed very quickly. But that's okay. We'll make 2021 your year of making up for it all. So that's fantastic. Good. Okay. And Yasmin, you've been out and about. How's work been going? Good?
Yeah, it was all right. I was an essential worker at both my jobs. So.
Oh, wow. You would have been really busy then.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you continuing going to be working, or you're going to give you over to college now?
I'm working part-time now.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend most of my time at college.
Good. Excellent. Okay, no, that sounds cool. Okay, Arta came from high school, so that's fantastic. Samantha also came from year 12. Not too familiar with Adobe, but yep, not terrible. That's good. You know how to work with all of those. Janine, you've come over from Bachelor of Business. How was that?
Yes.
Obviously, that's why you changed.
Yeah, I actually hated it. Yeah, because I'm not really an academic person. I'm more creative.
Sure.
So pretty much that's it.
You've learned what you don't want to do.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And what tends to be quite nice is as you go through, we sort of dabble a little bit of business, particularly creative business amongst
cool.
that. So yeah, that's good. We actually had students last year, and Ben, just fill me in as well. We had one student who came over from, and I think she just about completed her degree in communications, but worked out it was not right for her. And she's now come back and joined the college, which is fantastic. And she's got an internship already, so she's flying. We've got another guy who came over from IT. So he's also really enjoying, flexing creative muscles compared to, he found the IT a bit dry. And I think there was another, one who came over from art. She was doing a degree in art and came over to design as well. So they're all really doing fantastically well, which is great. So yeah. Okay, Georgia. Hi, Georgia. I know Georgia. She's lovely. And so, yeah, graduated a couple of years ago. And similar to Yasmin, you've been out working as well. So you'll get the best of both worlds with that. Okay, Lavelle got to work with the editorial magazine. Oh, that's right. Sorry, that's your ideal job. Yes, nice. Good. Yeah, cool. Yep, and Georgia wants to go into interior design ideally. Sam's from high school. Yep, upper interior design. Maybe you can combine the two. Yep, and had some basic skills. Yep, with multimedia. Cool. She's going to be an artist and photographer. Fantastic. Zoe, hi Zoe. You want to do own your own company or to teach? Yep. We did this lovely big project towards the end of your own branding. So you get to consider that path as well. Okay. Yes, cool. Yep, Zoe as well. Yep. And Braden. Cool. Okay. So Braden, you've been in hospitality, you still there? Doing stuff?
Yeah, at the moment I am. Yep.
Excellent, cool. And know some basics of Photoshop. I tend to find most people do that, have a little bit of dabbling of Photoshop, which is all wonderful. And it comes in handy and it gets to expand into the other areas.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice to meet you all, guys. And anyone who I have missed, as I said, I'm not too worried because I'll get to see you all next week. And I think for let me just quickly ask the question. Do you guys know if you're in the diploma course or the extended diploma yet, or you're a little bit fuzzy? Can we do a hands up who's in the diploma course? This is where you quickly see if you can find your emoji. Yep, Lavelle's in there. And so is Sam. So is Jasmine. Oops, sorry, my screen keeps changing. And so is Dennis. Okay, and Brad and Zoe. Okay, excellent. Good. Okay, nice to have you along. So, and keep an eye on each other's names as well, because they'll be your classmates and your ones you'll be going, help, I need to understand this, and also the joy of group work. So I take it that means the rest of you are pretty much going to be in the extended design course as well. And the main, well, I'll go through in a moment the differences between the two, but probably the length of time is going to be the difference. The diplomas will be pretty much done and dusted by this time next year, or going to plan. And the extended diplomas will be 1.5 years with us as well. Cool. And Gio's done a bit of Premiere Pro. Oh, nice. Excellent. Lovely. Okay, let's get over to our screens. And I can see that Meg and Laura have joined us as well. These are some of our past students. So Meg and Laura, I'll get talking and then I'll get you guys to jump in shortly as well. But thank you for joining us. Okay. So we got through that. Radio. So I'm hoping that if you're up to this stage and you're with us, you've also been to the orientation page over at the uni one. I'll leave that there, but feel free to click over to it or take a photo of it And you'll see that there's lots of goodies in there of different things for you to know. There's an address there from Nicolene, our wonderful CEO, but different information and different points that is going to help you get through. There's also the enrollment information, but if you're up to this point, that's pretty good. And I'm hoping some of you would have already chosen your subjects, but we'll go through that. Also important dates, some student life information, and some student services information. And now really you're going to be university students. We really want you to embrace all that there is to offer, as well as enjoy the journey as well. Okay. So student services, and you'll hear us talking about this often, it's kind of like the administration arm of the university. We all need them. They are all wonderful people who help us along the way. And there's lots of services that are available. So you'll get used to visiting either eventually, hopefully in physically, as well as online, and also on the main university website in the chat to see all the different things that you can ask for needing help there. But make the most of those services that are available, and some of your fees that you'll pay each term, which is a small amount, will go towards those as well. Then anything else you want to mention there as student services, or that's pretty much it?
I know that's pretty much like it's where you'll need to go for some advice. Like I know we've got first year experience coordinators who will help you with some advice, but you can also go to student services and they can help you do things like change units and stuff like that. So it's really one of your first ports of call for anything to do with you as a student.
And I believe student services will also be helping you out getting your ID card, which you will need. You'll definitely need your student ID number, and then eventually you'll get the card as well. So that will all come. Okay, so some of you mentioned them there, and we've added a list there of future design careers that you can go towards. Because for most of you, this is the start of your design journey. We're still in those very early infant stages, not that there's anything wrong with that. And you may also find or stumble across different areas of design you haven't even thought about yet, and find out that you're brilliant at them. What we primarily do in this course is graphic design. And we tend to start with that, and we learn a lot about the processes of design, critical thinking in design, and design processes, design thought, that will then eventually lead into other areas. If you do, for example, definitely want to go into something like interior design, then this is a good sort of starting ground where you can learn about design, and then having that diploma. Once you've finished your diploma, that might be where you might say, right now I want to start going directly into interior design. Or if you want to keep going with graphic design, then you go over to the university and do your following years to get your bachelor's. But it's that good starting point. But as I said, we mostly focus on graphic design, featuring programs such as your Photoshop, your Illustrator, your InDesign, and then grow and develop from there. And never to get you guys to stop learning and discovering and playing with different programs as you go as well. Okay. Sorry, just checking. Yep, yep. Yes, so yeah, the normal, sorry, Lavelle, yes, the normal diploma goes for 1 year and the extended goes for 1.5 years. So, and it's always, I really hate sometimes using the word extended, because depending when you went to high school, you would have heard the word extended when you're talking about extended maths, which tends to mean it's an upper level. Whereas for us, extended is the length of time is extended. So yeah, it gets confusing, but once you're in your cohort, you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm hoping by now most of you would be getting your student email and your student number, I should say, which will then lead to your student email. When you get your student number, and it is a number that you should really memorize because you're going to be using it a lot, that number, and then at the end having @student.westernsydney.edu.au will become your email address. So any messages that you want to send to us or convey to us, or ask for feedback or a chat. That's how you'll be able to converse with us using that. Officially, the line is that we shouldn't be looking at any emails that come to you from a private email address. And so to keep above board, use that one. And in turn, you'll get used to seeing our email addresses. And ours often will be, once again, another number, but we don't have the word student in ours. And if you ever need to find a staff directories, a staff number, then you can go to the staff directory, which is on the main views site. I'll take you there in a moment and show you. And you can type in their name and that will come up in that way. So that's how we communicate in that way. So we also, like a lot of you and like the rest of the world, had a very interesting year last year. We all suddenly had to start teaching online. And at this stage, we're continuing to that. This term is the next stage that we're up to, where we're going to be starting. Some of the courses in the college are going to start doing face-to-face again at Nirimba. Because we're tiny, we are lower on the list. So we have to wait probably until second term that we start having that option to be face-to-face. For some people, that's fantastic. They don't care. They want to stay on Zoom. For other people, they know that as a learner, they need to be in a classroom, that's the best environment for them to be. So we're making our way towards that. And we're sort of accommodating every sort of combination at the moment. Ben, did you have anything you want to add to that part of it?
No, just so pretty much, you know, I want you to check your emails daily, because we will put out announcements and things like that. So make sure that you are on your email and checking it, because we love to communicate with you and we love to get feedback from you. So I guess if you've got any questions from class or any questions about your assessment and all of those sorts of things, there's discussion boards that we set up, but there's also, like, we want to hear from you, just like a professional designer. We want to see you using professional communication. So we want you to email us. We want you to use the discussion boards, all forms of communication channels, so that, you know, we can help you out and help you achieve sort of all of your design sort of ambitions. So very important.
And there's no silly questions, guys. And if you ever need any clarification, etc., then please send stuff through. We don't mind.
So I've got to go, Jen, but I did want to say, again, a big welcome. I'm really looking forward to working with you all. I'm looking forward to creating some great websites, creating some great design, and of course, just getting to know you all. So I'll leave you to it, but welcome. And I look forward to seeing you next week in class. Thanks.
Ben.
Bye.
Okay. So yes, so email address is there. Please send us messages as needed. And as I said, at this stage, this current term, starting from Monday, will be online, and then come term 2, and I'll give you the dates for that in a moment, we should be having the options and the choice whether you want to come to class at Nirimba. For those of you who don't know where Nirimba is, it's in Blacktown, not far from, well, it's in Quakers Hill, I suppose. And Quakers Hill Station would be the nearest train station if you were going to catch it there. We also do get to piggyback off having all the services of the university. We are a school within the university, but we still, you know, classify you guys as university students and get to have all the bonuses and perks, such as the library and study spaces that they have as well. From my understanding, the libraries are all open on the different campuses. It doesn't have to be the Nirimba one. You can try the different ones as well. Once you've got your student ID number, that helps you be able to go into any of those different places. Okay, so yes, we have learnt to be very fluid after COVID in the last year of, you know, changing things and adapting to different ways. So yes, but yeah, all things going well, fingers crossed, and particularly with today being the first day of vaccines, that term 2, we will have the choice of being on campus or still via Zoom. Okay, let's keep going. So the other area you might want to start looking at is, and you'll hear this quite a lot, you'll hear My Western or My SR, but My Western is where you get to go into your student portal. You get to go in there, actually we don't get to see in there, but you get to see all the different information about your timetable, about your enrollment, And that's pretty much pretty self-sufficient of going through and checking things and following the instructions in there. There's also e-forms in there too if you ever need to change administration sides of things. So have a look around there and get familiar as well. Okay, this might be one also you might want to take a photo with your phone. So these are the key dates. So we know that we start on Monday, and for the diplomas, I have you on Monday, and from Tuesday, I start to see some of the extended diplomas as well. You'll see this thing, and you'll hear it a bit too, of the census date. So census date is going to be the 31st of March this year. There's one every term. How census date works is up until that point, so from the 1st of March until the 30th of March, I suppose, is it's kind of like a try before you buy time, where you get to start the course, you get to try it, you get to see, am I in the right spot? Is this what I want to do? Do I love it? Do I hate it and want to leave? Without getting penalized. So you may also at that time realize, look, the workload is too much. I need to cut down on the amount of subjects I'm doing. So after that first month, that's kind of the time when you can look at things and change things as needed. Once you get past census date, then that subject does go on your record, as well as it goes onto your HEX debt as well. And for most of you, yeah, that HEX debt will be something you'll pay off years in advance when you start to be working in industry. And I'm pretty sure it's when you start earning I think it's 45,000 a year or more that you start paying that back in your tax. So it is quite a brilliant system that you get to study now and pay it back later on when you can afford it. We do have midterm break, and that will be April. And I think we do get Easter, and then I think this is a little bit later on. We have 1 week midterm break. Then we come back. There's some students will have exams. Now, one of the really fantastic things about the design course is we're highly practical. So we do lots of big assignments, lots of things that we're making and creating, but we don't have many exams. It will only really be in your English subjects that you have exams. In some of your design courses, subjects, you will have some quizzes, but on the whole, you don't have to worry about exam week. It's just getting those English exams done. So once that exam week is finished, then you're on holidays, and then the term ends. We tend to have about a month off, and then we'll be back into term 2. So that date there of the 22nd, 28th of June, that's when I was saying that there'll be much more chance of you being able to come in on campus if you wish around that time. Any questions on all of that? It'll make sense as we progress on. Okay. So another one that you may want to take the photo of, these are different ways of staying connected. And as I said, I want you to really get into the experience of being a university student. So we have the contact numbers of student services there. You also have lots of social media that you can connect with. And that last one on the right-hand side there, that's a security number. So that's always a good one to have if, I don't know, you ever get locked out of a room or you need help on campus. And that's the main number for whatever, all the different campuses, but you'll need to ask for Nirimba while we're there. Something that is worth pointing out is the diploma for design happens at Nirimba. But then once you've completed that, then you go over to the Parramatta South campus, and that's where you would complete the rest of your degree if you decide to go down that path. Okay. Some more points there of student life, and it's powered by Western Life. So you'll hear messages from these guys as well. But lots of different ways of bonding and connecting with other students. And that's especially important at this time when we're doing things online. And as time goes on too, there's more opportunities to get out there and do fun things. And that tends to be part of the parcel of an exciting university life. So yeah, get involved with those. Okay. So, as I said before, Ben really likes his cars. So this was this sort of ongoing, I suppose like a joke element of showing what you get more than the base model. So if you had started over at university in first year, and there'll be a lot starting on Monday, they would get sort of the basic model of first year university. Because you're going to be a college student, you start to get extras. So I like to think of it as 2 lanes on a freeway, whereas this is the university one, the standard one, and then this is the college and the pathway. And that you will travel along, you get to do some extra subjects, but primarily the same subjects as first year uni, and then come second year, you'll slipstream into joining them second year uni. Okay. So what you get to have at the college is that you have smaller class sizes. So you really get to know us, as I said, and we get to know you, and we get to work with you and help develop your skills. You get to have extended lessons, so a lot more contact. The university might have 1 or 2 hours in a subject, whereas we might have 4. So there's that more contact that you have with us. But what tends to happen is your skill set goes up, particularly in the way of mastering the programs that you need to know for design. So lots of practical classes are included, as mentioned. All of it still goes on the HEX scheme, which is going to be for the majority of you. And that's that one where you get to pay it off once you're earning a large, well, good amount of money. And the benefit of it is that you still get to go into second year entry into Bachelor of Design. And that could be the visual communication one or the pathway to teaching secondary. It is that agreement that the college and the university has that if we pass you in all your subjects and we're happy with you, then you can go straight into second year over there, which is that direct entry into second year. I feel like I've missed a page. No, it's coming. Okay. So I will show you this, but it takes a little while to sort of get your head around it. I know it did when I first saw it. So this is what you call a pattern of study. And it's the subjects that you do in order as you go through your course. You can see over here, so 6011 and 6013 show the difference between the diploma in design and the diploma in design, graphic design pathway to secondary teaching. So you know, in the first year, there is no difference. It's the same base subjects that you will do in that first year. It's not until you start to go into second year at university that it starts to spread into the different directions. So if you're a diploma student, so the ones who put their hands up before, these would be the first ones that you need to be enrolling in. So you can see over here we have term 1, term 2, and term 3. And the college is a 3-term structure. We'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. And don't worry about the letter Y. It's just a symbol they put in there. But they're the subjects that you should be doing. So academic English, tertiary studies, skills and design, the design process, and design histories and futures. You'll see these first 3 have prep after them. These are subjects that are unique to the college. So these are subjects that we formulated to thinking to that they are they have material in them that are going to help you propel you forward. And a lot of the staff over at the university really like having college students because they've had so much of that prep and that knowledge of the subjects and the programs. So they tend to be much more well-rounded students. You'll also notice there, and you can see it down there in the bottom, that the ones that don't have prep and that are red, they are actually the university subjects. So that the university subjects that we teach, same as what is being taught over at the uni, and getting you those same skills. You'll also notice that these ones, like graphic design, understanding the principles, and graphic design process and practice, are really big double subjects. So they're worth the same amount as 2 subjects, and then you get to do those. You'll also see that initially you will be doing 4 subjects, then you go down to 2, and then you end with 3. So the workload does sort of go up and down, but you've also got to imagine you're going up that the work is getting harder and the assignments are getting harder as you're going up as well. But you're doing it step by step, so you'll feel quite competent in doing it. Okay, so let's compare that, which is the diploma, with the extended diploma. And by the way, with both of these and how I've mentioned it, this is for the full-time way of doing it. If, as I mentioned before, when you are doing your census, you might say, whoa, 4 subjects is too much. I need to cut it down to, 2 or 3. That would then make you, well, if you go down to 2, that would make you a part-time student. And then we just have to look at that pattern of study and sort of juggle it to make it fit with what's going to suit you and your life. And we are always aiming to make sure that that's something that you can achieve and pass those subjects. Okay, so for the ones who are doing the extended diploma, you'll get to see that you get to have some more prep subjects prior. If you're an international student, you get to do this one, but if not, you're just doing the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. They're the ones that you should be doing. And same again, then you also in the next term you get to do, then you'll see that it starts to become what the diploma is. So pretty much the extended has the difference at the beginning, and then after that first term starts to move into the same as what the diploma is there. But feel free once again if you want to take a photo of that as well. Just so you know, each term as you complete your work, you will get an email that's tailor-made just for you from your first year experience coordinator, who's Bill. I'll mention him in a moment as well. Just to advise you what are the next subjects you should be doing, just so you can make sure that you're on that pattern of study. We're going for time. Okay, just keep an eye on it. Okay, so once again, the diploma students, that's what you should be enrolled in. And the extended, that's what you should be enrolled in. So while you just have a quick check and look over those, and as I said, feel free if you want to take a photo. Have a lot of you got your timetables already?
Yeah, I got one.
Got yours, Sam? Excellent, cool.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Yeah. Is anyone getting stuck getting those or need to have a talk to student services? Yes, sort of. Have most of you all got your student ID numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good sign. And feel free, yes, email us or talk to student services if you need some step-by-step talking through with any of those different instances in there. But that My Western area should be where you can put it in. Okay. Anyone got completely other subjects in there that they shouldn't have in there yet? No? Okay, that's a good sign. And also, so you know, you can't do more than 40 credit points in one term. And most of those subjects, except for the double ones, are worth 10 each. So you can see that they're all a full load of full time. Okay, keep going. I'm trying to see all you guys and look at slides at the same time. Now, I'm going to show you this one, but don't dwell on it too much because this is further down the line. This is when you're going over to the university, the next lot of subjects and your second, third and option and fourth year over at uni. You can see in this case, these are the same subjects that you do at the college, which is the same as first year, the ones in grey. And if you were an extended diploma student, you will go over to the university halfway through the year. So you would do that sort of, you know, orangey, pinky, reddish line, and then you go on to the other ones. You get to do specializations and you get to do electives over at the university. The design course is unique in that you don't need to do majors, but you do specializations. That's a whole new, that's a whole other thing. And we get to talk about that in that term before you go over to the university. As I said, this one's made for the extended diploma. The diploma course is doesn't have as many lines, but it has the similar amount of subjects. Also with the electives, they can be subjects you can choose from wherever in the university in first year. So that tends to be really exciting, where you get to tailor your degree to how you want it. So for example, Dennis, it was your good self who wanted to go into automotive design? No? I think he's
Yes, sorry, my mic was muted.
That's okay. So you might say, right, okay, if I want to go in that direction, maybe it might be a good idea for you to pick up some industrial design subjects or some engineering subjects. And once again, tailor things to where you want to go. So yeah. Okay, so as I said, you'll learn more about that. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention is you do have the option that you can finish your degree at the end of third year, or you can go on and do your fourth year, which is like a professional year, but it's very exciting and you get a lot out of it if you choose. Some people are just want to finish as fast as possible. Others are fine to stay and do that, but further in the future. Okay. So a few bits and pieces about the college that is worth knowing. So we have 3 terms a year, and each one of those has got 12 teaching weeks within it. And then you have the 13th week is the exam week. So it is a really good formula. It means that we can teach you guys as much as what they teach at the university. We have less holidays, unfortunately. When you get to university, you'll have the nice big holidays. But it means also that we squeeze the 15-week semester down into 12. But because we're seeing you more in the week, it works. As I said, less holidays, particularly January. January is always hard. We have, as I said, a mid-term break each term, and it's for 1 week. Just keep in mind that I say it's invisible in that the number. Each week we count, like next week will start as week 1. But when you get to midterm break, it doesn't get assigned any number. We leave in 8 and come back in 9, that kind of thing. You still need to complete work during the midterm break. You just don't have classes then. Week 13 is the exam week. The design course has very few exams, but as I said, some class quizzes. And the university has 2 semesters a year. So their system is a little bit different. Okay. So some expectations. You're expected to attend 80% of your classes, including tutorials and lectures. So you'll see 3, in some of your subjects, you may even get up to 3 different types of classes: lectures, tutorials, and practicals. Some students, particularly if they have older siblings, think that they don't need to attend lectures. That's wrong. You come to all of them. So lectures, tutorials, and email and practicals, and they all fit together. Like, we structure them so that one feeds off the next, feeds off the next. And if you miss one of those pieces, sometimes it gets very confusing, or you may not have gotten those skills to do the next part. But we also know that things happen. We know that sometimes you'll get sick, and there might be other dramas going on, but aim to come to all of them. And then if those dramas do happen, then at least you're still above that 80% attendance. But as Ben said, talk to us, communicate with us, and let us know if there's things going on. As I said, they all work together, and you get a new timetable each term. And often you have to, if you're working, have to fit that around. And most employers are pretty savvy and understand that's what works. Check Views daily for information about your units, and I'll show you Views in a moment. Views is the online Blackboard system that we use, where we put all the information about your subjects and the guides and the assessments. That's where you're going to be uploading them. So it's an important thing that you're going to be checking regularly. You'll see the name comes from V at the beginning, and then the old UWS. Okay. So Lavelle is asking, if by chance we miss a lecture or tutorial, are we able to catch up by watching a recording? Sometimes, Lavelle. 95% of the time, you'll see the slides will be uploaded to Views. We don't tend to do as many recordings as we would like to, often because they're too big in size. But yes, often watching those slides tends to be enough that you can catch up on. Plus, you'll also see that in our view sites, they're full with lots of information. So if you go through and check all those things, you tend to be able to keep up on track. And worst case, if you don't get something or if it's not making sense, send us a message and we'll let you know. Okay, all of your assessments are mandatory. It's a very weird and strange system, but pretty much think that for every assignment, hand in something. If you don't hand in anything at all, that might make the whole subject void and it won't count. Even the little tiny things that are worth 1 or 2% still give us something. And all of your work is to be your own or correctly cited. And I want you to think about that, you know, you've got this wonderful chance to study design. This is the time where you can really spread your wings and do your own work. Make it original. Be inspired by things and see what other people are doing, but at the end of the day, the work needs to be your own. And we'll have lots of chats about copyright and the problems with it and the different issues that happen. But if you make it your own work, then you know that you're learning to the max, as well as it's going to be very prominent to see in your future portfolio. And yeah, we want you to contribute and to be part of your classes and have wonderful discussions and enjoy this learning time as well. Plus that helps the bonding and the connecting as well. Computer. So some of you may be asking and wanting to know, what computer systems do you need? We tend to tell people, well, first of all, you're going to need a camera and mic for your Zoom classes. But most of you are talking to me already, so that's a good sign. We will probably be asking most of you to turn on your cameras when you have class, because we want to see you and get to know you. And believe me, facial expressions go a long way for us to understand that you're getting what we're asking. So you can have a computer, it could be a PC or a Mac. Most students, it needs to have probably a good amount of RAM and grunt and storage as well. Laptops are quite helpful when we get to go back into class as well, because you get to transport them from home to there and use them in class. Okay, so Gianna's asking, is Parramatta the only Western Sydney uni that has a bachelor course of graphic design? Or campuses that require this course? So the design one is only at Parramatta South. Now keep in mind, Parramatta's, there's about three campuses in Parramatta. This is the big gigantic one just off James Roos Drive and Victoria Avenue Road. Anyway, in there. So that is where they offer graphic design. Similar to us, at the moment, they are doing the mixture of hybrid of Zoom, as well as they're just about to start doing some going back to classes as well. But yeah, pretty much design is only offered there at the moment. So I hope that answers your question, Gian. Okay. So once you've got your computer, then you also need to get the Adobe programs. And why we use the Adobe programs is because they are industry standard. There's a lot of others that are trying to come into the market. Adobe's had the market for a very long time. So they are quite important, and you're going to need them for your assignments. So you can go down a couple of paths. What they do is they normally have a monthly subscription. And please make sure you get the student version of it, not the full version, because that's going to cost you a lot. The student version, which you can get now that you've got your student ID number, and I believe you just have to tell them your email address, your student email address, and you can get the student version. And we will need a couple of those programs. So we tend to find if you get the student version, you can get the whole, or pretty much all of the Adobe programs that you can choose from. I'm trying to remember and if they've gone up. Last time I saw, I think they were about $16 a month, $15, $16 a month. They do tend to creep up every now and then. But if you do find you're getting stuck and you need the programs and you can't get them, we can apply to Adobe to see if you can get them for free. But you just need to email me and say, Jen, I need to get the Adobe products. Can we still get them? And I will then pass it on and we will ask the question. During COVID times, Adobe has been very good in giving us those programs because students can't access the campuses. They are all available on Parramatta South and Nirimba campus. But yes, but whether they're going to stop that soon, I don't know, as in the free cloud part. So yeah, go check out that link and check out the Adobe Cloud to get the student one that you're going to need to start using those programs. As I said, if you're going to email me to ask for the free version, do it sooner rather than later so I can start the ball rolling, so I can get permission to see that you'll have it for Monday so that you can start using it. I'll give you my email address at the end as well. You'll probably need some art supplies as we go. And think of also when we're back on campus, but whether you want to have some USBs or a portable hard drive so that you can transport your work back and forth. And as we said, they've got PCs with the Adobe programs at the college. We've only just last week were able to go onto the campus for the first time in almost a year. And so we'll go back and check Thursday and Friday to see how they're all happening. Those computer rooms, once they go back into normal use, are open 23 hours a day. So if you don't have a computer at home and you don't have the programs at home, you'd be able to use them there. But let's get through this next term first. Any questions on all of that? You okay? Okay, so as we said, Student Central, there is actually a Student Central building over at Nirimba, and you can always pop in there and they're really helpful and you can ask them about different questions, or you can go and see them online or through the main website. We also have the different support services. So we've got things like Study Smart, which help with academic literacy. Some people are absolutely terrified of having to write an essay. They haven't written one in a long time. Not that we have that many, but there's all those lovely support groups that are there for you. And I really wish they were around when I was at uni. We also have wonderful counselling, disability and welfare services. And for most students, you get to use those for free. And they're great, and they're also tailored for university students. Plus, there's also some direction and some help with careers as well. This is the one that does the literacy support, as I said, for if you're writing things. I think we're starting to refer to it as Study Smart, where basically you can upload, say it's an essay, and within 24 hours, someone has checked it and gives you feedback. Or you can connect with them live and they can go through your work and give you feedback. So it's pretty fantastic. And I even know students or even staff who are doing postgraduate work who they get them to check, and it's very good. Okay, views. I'm going to go to views and show you, and I shall go to the main website. This is where a lot of your information about your subjects is going to be kept, and you may want to bookmark it as well. So feel free if you want to follow along with me. Let me just open this. Okay, let's go this way. Now, by the way, you'll tend to see that we often just go to the university's website rather than the college website. It's better and it works a lot better. And a lot easier to find things. And you can even see, as I've just logged in here, so it's westernsydney.edu.au, that down here you've got chat feature too. So that's Student Central. So if you've got any questions, they're a good place to just pop in. I even go and use the chat feature sometimes to ask them things. Up here is that staff directory. So if you ever want to look for a staff member, you can put that in there if you know their name. This is what and we've also got the library up here as well. And yeah, feel free to explore these pages to find different things. But views is the one you'll tend to use quite a lot. And once you sign in, I'm already signed in earlier today, but you will see, and you can see I've got a lot more subjects than you, but you'll probably have your 4 subjects here when you've enrolled correctly. And then you can go into those sites let's pick one that some of you will be using. This one. So the diploma students will be doing design histories and futures with me on Monday. And you can start to go into this site. You'll start to see learning modules showing each week the different things that you'll be learning, as well as the different assessments that you need to do. And you'll see where anywhere that has that symbol is where you'll be uploading your different assignments as you go as well. And then we get to see everybody's names and files within that. So yeah, anytime between now and next Monday, start having a look around your sites, have a look around views. We are still populating them. We'll populate them right up until your class begins next week. But there's a lot of information in there as well. Actually, let me just show learning modules. So you'll see that there's a lot of information in here. Now, we said that sometimes we record them, sometimes we don't, but you'll see that there's a lot of other information in here that will fill you in on things that you've missed, as well as different videos that we suggest that you go and watch. Okay. Any questions about views? Textbooks? No, not really. There's some books that we recommend, and some of them are available. A lot of them actually are available online. The university, where most of the design books are kept at the Parramatta South campus, and it's actually one of the best design libraries in Australia. So if you ever get a chance, have a wander around there and have a look at some of those books. But yeah, at this stage, you don't have textbooks, which is, yeah, makes your life easier. Okay, let's jump back. Okay. I'm keeping an eye on time because I also know that the next orientation session can't start until we finish ours. Yeah, so the views site, that was one of them there that we had already gone to. Feel free if you want to take a photo of this information here. So this is Bill Goldfinch. He's your first year experience coordinator. So he's like an advisor for you. He still teaches as well, but he would be the one who would help you if you need anything. And they tend to be great first year experience coordinators because they're on your side. Like all of us teachers are on your side, but they are really in your corner if you need help for anything. And okay. Oh, Dennis, I'm sorry to hear. Which ones did you get to buy, the textbooks? Can you recall? You'll tell me when again. But you'll tend to find, guys, I don't know why I'm blurry. Anyway, that's good. Makes me look better. You'll tend to find that, okay, cool. Yeah, you'll tend to accumulate really good design books along the way. So that's great for inspiration. So yeah, all these things that Bill can help you with as your first year experience coordinator, but take note of his email. That's going to be the best way for you to get in contact with him. Okay. So I wanted to show this because I just wanted to also point out the people who have gone before you who have just done the design course. I'm hoping that you're sort of getting the conveyancy of smiling, happy faces. And it sort of fascinates me to think that I've known and taught all of these different students and helped them on their design journey. And a lot of them we still keep in contact with, both when they're at the university and also when they go out into industry. One of our main jobs that we try to do and aim for is not only get you to university and succeed in that environment, but what's going to help when you go on to your future career. I've come from industry and a lot of that information I pass on to you to help you as well. Cool. Yeah, Dennis, they're going to be fine. They're having all those books. So you'll get to have lots of good things to go through. Cool. Okay, and you can see even there down the bottom there that some of our last couple of classes, we normally have farewell parties for them, but we got to have them online this year before getting ready to go over to the uni. And you'll see amongst there also some of the teaching staff as well. All right, so Meg and Laura, this is where you get to shine. And we've brought along Meg and Laura today, as I said, who are students who just finished the course and they're just about to start over at the university in second year. But why we asked them today to come along was for you guys to see if there's any, well, think about if you've got any questions for them. But in the meantime, I'll also get the girls to take the floor if they want to give you any advice or things that they wish they had known when they were starting their course. Megan and Laura, do you want to have chats?
Hi, Jen.
Hey guys, good to see your faces. So,
All right, Meg, go. start us off. Yes, we both wrote like a little list of things that we might wanted to cover.
That's nice and organized.
Yeah. Yeah, the college is my first year experience at uni/college, and it's very different to what, like, I had friends doing the uni experience as well, and it's super different to them. And the whole time you're thinking, they get so much more time off, our workload is so much heavier, blah, blah, blah. But it's definitely worth it in the end, because I feel that with our assignments and we had more class time and stuff like that, so I feel like we were able to better ourselves in that sense. Yeah, and also definitely use your teachers to your advantage, use their knowledge, use their willingness to help you. We also experienced our first year like online, so that was a bit of a hurdle, but most of our teachers were super good about responding to emails and stuff, so definitely take that, use that to your advantage, because they're more than happy to help, especially Jen. We would email her like all the time, our work and stuff, and she was more than happy to get back to us, and just we were able to further our assignments, and I think that really benefited us in that sense. What about you, Laura?
Lovely.
I'll just add that I definitely like say, don't be afraid to like get feedback, whether it's from your teachers or your peers. Like, I think it's very important. Helps you grow as a designer, or we all did anyways. Yeah, and just like listen to the advice your teachers give you and all that. And with your breaks, I think use your time wisely and rest up, because you don't get much time. So, you know, like reset for the next semester. You only have a few weeks. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, just on that, throughout most of our breaks, I think we had some work to do, like to get ourselves prepared for the following term. And I would definitely say do your work that needs to be done in the break, because Laura and I, multiple occasions, were doing it on the last day, like before term went back. And it's just, I mean, it's just dumb when you have a longer time to do it. So I feel like you may as well do it in your break, rather than like having it loom over your head or anything, because it's definitely worth getting it done and then not having to worry about it, and just worrying about the next stuff that's that you're going to be focusing on.
Cool. Because I think that's the thing, and I'm hoping the girls are conveying it as well. It's like, we're on your side. We want you to be the best you can possibly be, and to try and get you into good habits, you know, of preparing and getting ready for industry. So yes, when we try to sort of give you the heads up and go, you should probably do this now because something's coming, then we do it for a reason as well. I had a student once and he said, oh yeah, Jenny, you warned us about this. I'm like, yeah, and still it was like lemmings going over a cliff. But yeah, so try to sort of do that as much as possible. And as I said, while you're in these small classes and you get to know us before you get to go to the uni, and you're part of, at the moment, you're going to be a small fish in a big, big fish in a small pond. And then at university, you'll be more of a smaller fish in a bigger pond. So yeah, get all those different parts going well. So, and guys, keep in mind, so Laura, you started as an extended student,
Yeah.
and then you kept going and then into the diploma one. How did you find that changeover from the extended to the diploma? Like, did that help having that term before everyone joining out of the group?
I think so, me personally, because I wasn't 100% sure on what I wanted to do. So that like first semester really helped in like number one, we only had like 10 students in the class, so it was really small and, you know, intimate. We got to know each other well. So and we learned all the basic skills. So I felt like when I went into the diploma, I was more prepared and I knew a lot more. So yeah, I think it was very useful.
And ladies, how did you find juggling your studies with life and work and everything else?
Oh gosh. Definitely a challenge, but we did it. Like, it takes a bit of swapping and changing, but it works in the end.
Yeah. I guess we kind of were able to use the fact that for a lot of our course, we were in lockdown. So essentially, like, I was using a lot of my free time just to do assignments because I had nothing better to be doing. But then in the, like, towards the end of last year, I found it became more difficult because things were opening back up and the social aspects, especially in term 3 when you're still going throughout like summer and everyone else is finished, like school's done, uni's done, and you're just still chugging along in your class. But then Jen will say this like a million times to you, and she always says, but don't worry, because then you have February off and everyone else has gone back, which is true because that's what we now have February.
You're riding that wave now, yeah, and you're going, you're at school, I'm still on break. So yes. And yeah, as I said, when you go to university, I think we worked out you'll have, they tend to finish beginning of November and go back beginning of March. So that's about 4 months off.
Yeah.
And I've had some students who, if they're working, they'll do work to earn a lot of money at that time, so that when they're studying, they don't have to do as much and sort of save up for that as well. So yeah, good. Ladies, did you have anything that you were worried about or you wished you had known before you started the course or at the beginning? If you could go back and give yourself advice.
I think my main issue throughout the year was the assignments varied so differently in how much they were worth, like percentage wise. So in one of our first units, which I think you'll do term 1, the design process, some of those assignments were only worth 2%, and then others were worth like 45%. And I remember I spent so much time on the 2% ones, like literally I would spend hours on them, and then I'd run out of time to the 45% ones, and then Jen would be saying to other teachers like, don't worry about the 2% ones, and just, I don't know, I just get so stressed about them. And same with 10% ones as well. So definitely like use your time wisely in terms of how much the assignment is worth, because it's not like, there's no use spending all that time on one that's worth less and then getting less marks for your big assignment and stuff.
Yes, definitely. And I think both you guys will find that time management is a juggle, you know, and it's that working out, you know, if something's due first, you tend to spend a lot of time on that. Whereas, yeah, it's that checking, you know, is it worth 40% or is it worth 2%? Should I be spending an hour on this or should I be spending 5 hours on this? Yeah, that gauging, and you get better as you go along. Plus, we also give those hints as well of, you know, don't spend too long on this, spend it on that. And we also know that you've got other subjects. You know, each of our subjects will be going, me, give me my assignments, you know, but we know that you've got other subjects and other demands as well. And we'll just say it's still me, but yeah. Good. Guys, do you have any questions for the ladies as well? Come on, give them something. They came all this way today. Yes, no, they're all shy. You girls were like this. I got to actually meet the ladies. So Laura, I would have seen for a couple of, I don't think I had subjects with you in your first semester, first term.
No.
But otherwise I knew them, I saw them face to face basically for 3 weeks, and then the rest has been online ever since. So yes, and I get to see into a lot of bedrooms and see a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We all get to see each other's pets as well, which is great, but it's all part and parcel. Okay, any last chance, guys? Anything that you want to ask the ladies? No? Cool. Okay, and I've just been also told that I have 8 minutes remaining, so I'm just going to keep skimming. Stay there for the moment, ladies, if you can hang out for it. And then if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat as well. Okay, my final trip. My final part I just wanted to show you was some work of past students. So you can have a little look, and this tends to be the show and tell part. Okay, and sorry, because we are running out of time, I will show, but probably go a bit fast. So this was part of one of the big branding assignments that I had mentioned that we were doing. Megan, Laura, I think you'll tend to find that, do you agree that that branding one was probably the biggest assignment that you did?
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
But probably the most you grew in as well. So
Yeah.
Okay, some past ones. And this student now is also still using it for her freelance design that she's doing while still at uni. So that's going well. Another guy's called his 3 little sticks. This was part of infographics as well. But it gets tricky because the briefs keep changing every year. So often we tweak them. So yes, this is infographics, but we'll do something a little bit different. And this is responsive. So these all had the same brief. Okay. There's a book design part. Laura and Meg did typeface design and zines for theirs. This lady was a great illustrator. There's Laura. Okay, another one with Aslan. So in a subject called visual storytelling, you get to do some graphic novel design as well. Some students, yeah, really love that and embrace that. Some hate it, depending on their level of how they can draw. This one we did hand lettering as well. We do team group work, and this was skateboard design. Sorry, I just have to say this one because it gets me every time. This they did this whole death theme skateboard. And Sebastian did this one. He wanted to have a zombie, so he took a picture of his mum and then made her into a zombie. And he was so proud of it. And I asked him, "What did your mum think?" And he said, "Oh, she thought it was great." So he made his mum into a zombie. So okay. Okay, this one reflecting on all the different cultures. Some branding. Some packaging. This was one that was doing the typeface that they make themselves, an environmental experimental typeface. One made out of spices, one made out of fire. Some paper toys for the Children's Hospital. Some websites. Okay. So yes, for most of you, well, the diplomas, I know at least I see you on Monday. I think the extended diplomas, I know for my classes, I'll have you on the Tuesday. And I'll leave that there if you want to take a quick photo as well, particularly if you need to tell me that you do need those Adobe programs, and I can put you on the list. So j.kumar@westernsydney.edu.au.